We turn our attention to Metmar now. Warren Dick, I'll start with you. This is a company that imports and exports bulk commodities, including metals, minerals, ferroalloys, carbon products. And the most obvious place to start, I think, with a company of this nature is to touch on the outlook for commodities and the rand-dollar exchange rate, because those are their biggest exposures. Yes,
well, certainly the rand-dollar exchange rate, obviously the rand's weakened. The business is a trading business. In the interims to the end of August, if I'm not mistaken, they talked about more volumes going through the business. But obviously with softening commodity prices, you might see that the increase in output might be countered by the decrease in the commodity prices. It's a bit of a mix. They trade quite a range of commodities, so it's not easy to benchmark it against an index and say, well, how much are they selling? But they seem to be selling more. And what they've also done, so that's the core business at the moment, where much of the earnings are coming from. They've kind of reorganized the business. They've put it into three pillars. They've got the Metmar trading, which is the commodity broking. They've got the Metmar Polychem, which trades the plastics, and that's quite a profitable business. And then they've taken all their investments that they were making to secure offtake for their trading business, and they've put that into Metmar Mining and Investments. So it's kind of reorganized the group, and it's a little bit easier to understand what they're doing now.
Well, the group profit of 19.3 million was 20.5% lower than the 24.3 million achieved in 2010. And it looks, Warren Peacock, like group profit wasn't the only thing on a downward trend. Look at that bear channel. My goodness, Metmar, what is going on with that share price? Take us through it.
Yeah, very strong established bear channel in place, which doesn't necessarily mean the share will continue to go down. The longer a trend is in place, obviously the closer it is to a turning point. But this is a very well-established trend. The price action hasn't really spoken about a change in direction. Quite simply, we've still got lower highs and lower lows. There's still downward pressure on the stock. It has not found horizontal support. It's only found the channel support, which obviously is downward sloping. So, current resistance at 270, I would start to maybe get interested at a break above that. I would prefer, though, to see a higher low.
You're mentioning a support of 200, but can you call the bottom on Metmar, Warren?
No, I won't call the bottom. The current low is 2 rand. Therefore, that would be current support. We would need price to actually find support and bounce off there to confirm that level as being somewhere where the market sees value in the company.
Warren Dick, you mentioned the fact that they have now reorganized the business into 3 distinct business units, but Metmar Investments and Resources has retained and also disposed of some of its non-core assets. I'm trying to figure out which of these assets they're going to get rid of. Is it going to be Metmar Industrial in Zimbabwe, or Kivu Resources, which has got operations in Rwanda and the DRC? There's also Tuflex Plastic. I know this is a speculation game, but if they're saying that they hold non-core assets, why would they want to hold on to them, and which do you think they're most likely to dispose of?
Well, yeah, they haven't exactly, they've indicated that they're upping the stakes in some. I think with my conversation with the management and the idea there is that they want to invest in businesses where they can take a real operational role in the company. They've got experience in developing projects. They've got a network of people that they know can run the projects for them. So you might see that the smaller investments where they're maybe 20% invested, I think the pairing base metals business might be one of them. They might divest from. But with regards to the Kivu one, a very interesting story. They have this interest in Kivu Resources.
Sorry, I know it's probably a really great story, but we don't have time to get into it. And I'm sorry to interrupt you, Warren, but I need to get a vote, hot or not for you.
Not hot at the moment.
Not hot at the moment.
But yeah, but interesting to watch.
Interesting to watch, but not hot for Warren Dick. Warren Peacock, how do you feel about Metmar, hot or not?
Not hot.
Clearly not with that established bear channel, huh?
No, I would look at it on either break of 270 or confirmed support level.
Look at a break above 270. Well, something that is hot are your stock picks this evening, gentlemen. Warren Dick, you have gone with Pan African Resources. Tell us why.
Well, I went, the Pan Africans, obviously the Barberton gold mine. They produce about 95,000 ounces of gold a month. But they've also done a deal where they bought they've built a chrome tailings retreatment plant, which I went to go visit last week. It produces platinum group metals, about 12,200 ounces of platinum group metals, and that's come online now. And I still think there's some upside in that share. So it's now a precious metals business as opposed to just a gold miner. I think it's around 2 rand at the moment, and I think it can still go to 2.60 rand before it starts reaching fair value.
Fantastic. Warren Peacock. When I heard your stock pick for tonight, I thought to myself, has he been watching the markets? What would make you, or anyone for that matter, choose Sappi as a hot stock? You really have to explain this to us.
Well, you know, something, we're lucky tonight. We've actually had 2 head and shoulders, which is rather unusual to have on a show where we're only looking at, 4 technical charts. This one is a bullish head and shoulders pattern. And once again, it's almost textbook classic. We've had the move down from resistance up at 36.66. The market fell down, it consolidated, it then had an extended drop, tried to bounce a little bit, came back, formed the head in the middle, came up again, tried to pull back, formed the right-hand shoulder, and then today, as luck would have it, we broke the neckline, which is a bullish sign. We've got the head and shoulders. We've had the market sell Sappi off from 36.66 all the way down to a low of 20.92. Eventually, these stocks do bounce. I'm not saying that Sappi is going to go back to 36.66. The next target would be that resistance level at 26.93. A break of that would then put us on target for 36.66. And I think at the end of the day, if we're going to look at technicals, we then have to look at technicals, and technically Sappi is a buy.
Technically, Sappi is a buy, but fundamentally is Sappi a buy? Warren, do give us your take on Sappi.
I know some hedge fund managers that have been shorting Sappi for a couple of years. So I think from a long-term perspective, they've got a few challenges in their business model. So obviously, we're talking very different time frames, though. Not hot for me.
Very different time frames, clearly not hot for Warren. And I'm still wondering, Warren Peacock, why you went with Sappi is also not hot for me either. Are you going to say something else, try to convince us otherwise?
I just want to make a comment. It's not a stock that I would put a huge amount of money into. But from a trader's perspective, if I can make 5%, if I'm leveraged, I can make 5%, I can leverage it. If I'm going to be trading the share, Sappi's volumes are not fantastic, which means that the spread widens, and sometimes you can get a really good price jump for no other reason than somebody closing the spread. So I wouldn't take a big position. Getting out might be a problem, but certainly it looks pretty hot for a technical trade.